if someone can give a hand raise or can unmute and say, great, thank you. So, good evening. My name is Rida Fatima, and I'll be your mentor for this immigration law course. And it will be 8 sessions. We'll be learning a lot of things from inbound immigration to outbound immigration, and we'll cover a lot many more things. I am into this practice. Also, we are conducting this course for people who are first generation lawyers. The court practice is working since 6 years for such people who are first generation lawyers who do not have who do not have seniors who can guide them well. Also, for ones who do not have a good background to understand what immigration is actually. Also, immigration is not very much very much in practice these days, because there are not many people who are familiar and aware of how immigration law works. Also, this will be in English. I hope everyone is comfortable with that.
Okay.
Uh,
Yes.
okay, that's great. Thank you. Okay. So, yeah, the first session, we won't go much deep into everything in the first session itself. But yeah, we can know what we are going to do in the next upcoming sessions. So, we'll be doing about student visas and work permits. We'll be learning about PR applications. We'll be learning about families, sponsors, and how to go about for those applications, for the petitions, for the motions, and everything for USA, Canada, for inbound immigration. For those people, inbound immigration basically is for those people who want to come from abroad to your country. That's from maybe from USA or from Canada or from any other countries to India. That is inbound immigration. The other is outbound, who wants to go from India to some other country, be it for studies or for work or to settle there. So we'll be covering those parts as well. We'll be doing some practical applications also. Practical would be maybe we'll draft a petition, or we can fill out some forms that we require during your procedure, how to go about. So maybe we'll take up those things also in the later classes. But today, as it's just the first session, so we'll have an introduction part only. I hope I have advocates here, practicing advocates, students, legal professionals, and all those. Yeah, thank you. Thanks for the thumbs up. I appreciate that. Thank you. Thank you. So, yeah, so we'll be taking all of that. Whatever queries you all have, we can conduct that at the end of the session. Maybe that's better. Or if you all want to go slide by slide, whatever is okay. Then, yeah, this curriculum is engineered for professionals navigating cross-border mobility. There would be students also in this session who have just graduated or who have just done their SSC or HSC, and after completing your studies you feel like abhi bas India mein nahi. There is, people are very fascinated about doing their masters from abroad. So yeah, of course this course is going to be beneficial for them as well, because just you cannot just think कि हाँ मुझे masters बाहर से करना है, but how do you have to go about that procedure? There are people who lack that, and because you lack that, there are visas being rejected, and those rejections are creating much of depressions for the students. Then they are they feel demotivated, and then बस वो एक बार reject होने के बाद में people are like, no, now once it's rejected, I do not have the ability to do it again. But why is it getting rejected? So we will go about that thing also, that why are rejections higher than acceptance. So we'll check that also. And also, as you all know, the situation is getting worse day by day. The geopolitical situation, because of the war situations and everything, it's very difficult to go about the immigration process and everything. But it's actually not that difficult if you take up things positively, and if you take up things step by step, consulting immigration lawyers, and then taking help from immigration lawyers and consultants, everything gets easier and everything is possible. So there is nothing like this is not possible or this cannot be done. So this course will actually be beneficial for advocates and legal professionals. Why advocates and legal professionals? Because there are people from abroad who comes to India, or who wants to come to India, but they have certain things, maybe an FIR registered against them, or maybe they have something, some cases registered, or some cases going on maybe in India or some abroad other country. So, how to go about in that situation, that is going to be beneficial for the advocates and the legal professionals. For immigration consultants, because immigration consultants are, of course, it's an immigration course, so it's of course going to be beneficial for the immigration consultants. Law students for UG and PGs, that is what I just told, because students after completing their graduation wish to do masters from abroad. Either they complete their undergraduate or they complete their postgraduate, but also after completing their SSCs and HSCs, there are many students who wish to take up studies from some other country. So it's going to be beneficial for them for corporate HR and global mobility, because of the political situations and everything that's up and down. So yeah, it's going to be beneficial for the corporate team as well. For entrepreneurs can also benefit from this. And then for research and academics, there are people who are researchers and who are in the teaching profession and everything. So this course can be beneficial for your research, writing papers, for articles, to get in depth, and then to have your articles well prepared. And for the professors who are taking up lectures, so we'll come to know about what the political situation is. And even the professors who need to guide their students to take up some course later in the future, if there are students coming up to the professors to ask them for guidance, or for counseling or something. So yeah, of course it's going to be beneficial for the researchers and for the professors, for the academicians. Okay, so for fundamental capabilities, define the certified immigration expert. So it's global legal proficiency, the first thing. The second is professional client management, advanced documentation skills, and practice establishment. That is what I just told you all, that we'll be learning about how to go with the cover letters, with the motions, with the petitions. We'll take up some of the forms as well. We'll see how it goes in the next sessions. We'll be also learning about professional client management. The first and the very basic thing is to know how to manage your clients. There are many clients, we still deal with such clients who are very restless, who are very impatient. They just want their things to be completed. The second they complete their the second they have completed talking to us, they want it done in the next day itself. So that is not how it actually works. You need to take time, you need to figure out things, you need to know the case better. If you just rush and hurry with everything, there are chances, not chances, but of course, we are going to make mistakes, be it you or be it me. If I'm just rushing up with anything, there are possibilities I might make mistakes. And then those mistakes create problem in the future. And then we get rejections, visa rejections, we get rejections with the motions, with the petitions. And then we feel heartless, we feel disheartened. So the main thing that we learn is professional client management also, how to handle your clients, especially how to handle the restless clients, those clients who just want to rush and get their things completed. So we'll be doing that. Masters procedural frameworks for USA, Canada, UK. Yeah, we'll do how to take about USA, how to go out with USA non-immigrant immigrant cases. So basically, I'll just give a brief about how USA immigration works. Um, it's divided into two parts, that is non-immigrant and immigrant. We'll go in depth in the next classes, but this is just an overview of how we'll be doing it and how the USA immigration actually works. So USA immigration has two parts, that is non-immigrant part and the immigrant part. Non-immigrant is not that vast, but yeah, the immigrant part is very vast and it's very big. But okay, we'll be completing that too. In the non-immigrant part is that when you are going from India to USA for a certain period, for tourism purpose or for your studies or to work there. So all those things, or you're going for the maybe to attend some business meeting, or you are going there for some medical checkup. So all those things will be covered under the non-immigrant part. That is, you are just going for a certain period. The immigrant part is when you are going to USA and you want to settle there. So when you want to settle there through green card pathway or through your citizenship, so those things will be covered under immigrant part. Now, directly you cannot go from India to USA and you settle there. That is not how it works, correct? So for that, we have family sponsored visas. We have EB5 pathway. That's a business pathway, but that's very complicated. We'll discuss that later. Then we have when you are in USA on an H1, that is a work visa, and then you have stayed there for a certain period of time. Then after that, you put for an adjustment of status, and then you can go for an immigrant pathway, and then that is how you settle there in USA. So USA is a vast thing with non-immigrant and immigrant portion. We'll be discussing that in the next class or maybe in the next week. Then for all of that, the basic fundamental thing for to remember when you are applying for any country is that you have to be honest with whatever you fill in the form or with whatever you do it in your petition or you add it in your motions. It is because it will ask, certain forms will clearly ask you whether you had a past rejection. I have seen many people working in this. I've been working in this profession, so I have seen many people who feel if they put that as yes, that we had a past rejection, that will make chances that the other form that they're filling will also get rejected. The next time when they're applying, they feel that if we put that as yes, it's again going to create a problem. And then again, this time they'll get rejected. But it's not like that. If you have a past rejection, we need to be very honest with it. Yes, that we had a past rejection. And for whatever reason, we need to mention the reason as well. If we know the reason properly, if we do not know the reason properly, we can write it that yes, certain rejection happened in this year for this reason, but never to put that as no. Putting that as no will create more problem for us, and that's not only for USA, it's for all other countries. You go to Canada or you go to UK, you go to Australia, Europe, any Schengen countries, anywhere wherever you want to go, almost most of the forms, 90% of the forms have a direct question asking, do you have a past rejection? So that has to be yes if you actually have it, and never to put that as no if you have been previously rejected under any country. Then they also ask whether you have any criminal case or any cases going on pending in any of the courts. There are people who put that as no, thinking, how will this affect that thing? I mean, how will the court case affect my immigration process? How will the immigration officer know, or how will the visa officer know that I have a court case going on? There are people who feel that it's not linked, but know that everything is linked. Everything from your passport number, from your Aadhaar number, from your PAN number, everything is linked these days. So never to say no to anything which has been happened with you previously. If you have a court case going on, be clear. Yes, I have a court case going on in so and so case, in so and so court. This is the stage of the matter. If an explanation is asked, but if there is no explanation asked, and if there's a court case going on, put it as yes, but never put that as no. So we'll be doing this also, that how to what to answer, how to answer which questions of the form. And secondly, we'll be knowing about if you are going, suppose we are going to Canada, you want to go to Canada for a tourist purpose. We feel it's very easy. You just have to show your bank balance, that you have certain amount of bank balance, and then you have these amount in your account, and you are sufficient enough. I mean, you are showing 10 lakhs, 12 lakhs. Ha, itne mein meri trip ho jayegi. Okay, you need bank balance. That's a pure thing. But if you are showing that you have this bank balance, and then with that you are not showing that which places are you going to visit, the officer might feel that this is just to show that he has balance, but then he has no plan. Maybe then you can get rejected under that as well. So we'll be knowing, if we are applying even for a tourist visa, what things we need to add in that, what things we shouldn't. Unnecessary things also there is no need to add. There are people who will explain one certain simple sentence in 10 languages, in 10 other ways. I want to go to Canada for a tourist purpose. They'll turn and twist and write that same sentence again and again and again and again. So we do not have to do that as well. When I'm saying we need to be clear, we need to explain everything, doesn't mean that we keep repeating certain statements. If you have certain amount in your account, so you have to show that once is enough. But again and again, if you show the same thing, so the officer might again feel that only one thing is being highlighted, the other things have been just, there are the other things, there is no explanation on that. So this is just because he wants the visa, and then taking a tourist visa, the person might go there and settle. So again, that can create problem for us. So we'll be knowing what to add in that letters, or in the forms, or in the petitions, whatever we create and make. So we'll be doing that also. Next is the advanced documentation skills. So it's very obvious that when you go to any other country, basic documentation every country requires. Some countries might have just few documentation things. Some countries might have n number of documents to be filled, the forms to be filled and to be submitted. So we'll be doing that also, like which form to fill, when and how and why. Okay. Then we'll be taking, I mean, this course is going to be beneficial for practice establishment. How we'll be learning about the business architecture. Then there are certain cases which are not straightforward, which is not a shut and close case. It requires a lot of strategies, and how to, a lot of, you need to go in depth for a lot of cases. So how to check that, we'll be knowing that also. Though it's an AI can do help you do everything. We have chat GPTs now. So you might think that if you just add it on chat GPT, that I want to go to Canada for a tourism purpose, help me prepare a cover letter. So chat GPT will help you prepare only with the prompt that you have given to the
I
uh, is there some question, or that's my mistake? Deep. Yeah, thank you. Okay, so we were on. So today this question might come to many of you all, that yeah, chat GPT will help you prepare your cover letter, or whatever you want to fill, or you want to make any letter. But chat GPT will help you only to that extent, the with the prompt that you put to chat GPT. Okay, today if I'm just adding, I want to go to Canada for a tourist purpose, make me a cover letter. if this is my prompt, ChatGPT will not know for how many days am I going to go, what bank balance do I have. It will help you prepare also the places you want to visit, but not exactly how a lawyer would do it for you, or how you would do it after taking up these courses and everything. So we'll be I'll be helping you all with that too, to know what points to add and what points to not add in your petition or in your cover letters or your forms or everything. So the do's and don'ts also we'll be covering. Next, we'll be just a second, please. Okay, so this is going to be the 8 module life cycle of an international immigration case. So this is what I just told you all. We'll be doing fundamentals of immigration law and global mobility, global and Indian immigration authorities. So global and Indian immigration authorities will be covering how the FRRO works. That's the Foreign Regional Registration Office. So which for what you need to approach FRRO and how to proceed and how to approach, we'll be doing that. Because once a person who comes from abroad, specifically for Pakistanis, for Pakistan nationals, when they come to India, it's compulsory for them. They need to get themselves registered in FRRO office. And after once they have done the registration, the authorities, the officers from FRRO would come to their place where they're staying in India to cross check. And this has to be done within a certain period of time. If this is not done, then they can face consequences. So we'll be knowing that as well. Then also we'll be taking up global and Indian immigration authorities. That's what I just told. Employment and corporate business immigration. So these days, a lot of corporate business visas and everything is at the peak, and student visas are also at a peak. So we'll be knowing about that too. Then we have family and family, student, and dependent pathways. That's going to work for USA immigration more. And yeah, so for USA immigration, as I told you all, my family would come under the immigrant part. When if you suppose I want to go to USA and settle there, and my parents are in USA, so they can sponsor me, and that will come under a family sponsored petition. So that is what we'll be taking up in the next classes. And skilled migration and permanent residency system. So PR also we'll be looking out at PR for Canada, green cards for USA, how to go about for all of that. Investor, entrepreneur, and CBI programs, compliance, refusals, and enforcement defense, refusals and compliance, how to take up those things. That is what I just explained. Practice establishment and workflow design. So this will be more beneficial for if you want to start up your own practice, or you want to start up as an independent lawyer under under immigration law. Because immigration lawyers, if you search, you will get, I'm not saying there are no immigration lawyers, there are immigration lawyers, and of course all of those immigration lawyers are well versed with everything. But if you check and if you compare, litigation lawyers are more than immigration lawyers. Everywhere, wherever you go, you'll find people who are into litigation and who are in civil matters, criminal matters, family matters, and they are into those DRT matters and everything. But if you see, you cannot find much lawyers who are actually practicing immigration. So those advocates who have joined your this course is going to be beneficial for them too, if they want to start their consultation maybe, or they want to start their practice in immigration course under immigration law. So it's going to be beneficial for your practice establishment also. Then navigating the complex ecosystem of global and domestic regulatory authorities. So for international authorities, that's the outbound, when a person wants to go from India to some other country. So what more we'll be focusing on? So it will be, there are certain departments that we need to keep in mind when you when you are making a petition, or when you want to, when there's no response from a certain person or from a certain authority. So you need to know which authority to approach at what time, and at what stage you need to approach which authority. So we'll be taking up that as well. So for the USA, if you want to go to USA, we have USCIS, that's United States Citizenship and Immigration Services. That's where all your petitions get approved. And after that, it goes to NVC, that's the National Visa Center. And then the National Visa Center comes up with your interview dates and everything. Then you have to go to the consulate to give your interview. And once you clear your interview, you are granted your visa. And also, I will be helping y'all. I'll be mentoring y'all for if y'all are going for any interviews, how to go for the interview and what questions may come up to y'all. Certain questions also, we'll take up those interview questions also, and how to prepare for your interview whenever you have your interview for anything, be it for your student visa or for your work visa. Specifically, we'll keep that focused on US only, for because that's what because US rejections are more than any other countries. So we'll take up that as well. Then we have IRCC, that's for Canada. It's Immigration, Refugees and Citizenship Canada. So the IRCC is where or you have to make your account and then fill up those IRCC forms, whatever it is asked for your PR or for your tourist visa or for your student visa, and all of that. Then for Indian authorities, we that is the inbound, when any person from abroad is coming to India. So we'll have focus on X visas, and then whatever regulations, rules and regulations we need to follow for the entry, exit permits, for and the whatever registrations we need to do. So that's what I just told you on. If a Pakistani national is coming to India, so it's a compulsory. It's not just for Pakistan, there are other countries too. We'll be discussing that as well. But Pakistan is very strict with Pakistan, because the India Pakistan ties have never been good. Until date, it's not good. So whenever a Pakistani national have to come to India or is in India, it is very compulsory for that person to get themselves registered in the FRRO. So we'll be dealing with the Ministry of Home Affairs, when to approach the Ministry of Home Affairs, when to approach the Bureau of Immigration Officers or Foreigners Regional Registration Office, that's the FRRO. So we'll be taking up all of this as well. Then what visa pathway, that is going to be for module 3, and there's still time for all of it, but this is just an overview of what you all can check, and what we'll be doing, and what we'll be learning. In the next sessions, we'll be coming up with employment and skill pathways, student and education pathways. We'll be taking a family and dependent pathways, and investor and entrepreneur. So it's going to be for international students or students from India who wants to go abroad for post, after once you have completed your studies and then you want to work. So what to do and how to do, we'll be knowing that. Then for investors or for independent advocates who are having their independent practice, can you can also you can also go with this course, and then you can start your own practice. What what re- what requirements you would have to start with it, and what exactly you need. So we'll cover all of that also. Then for family, we'll be taking immediate relatives and spouses petitions and everything. Suppose if I am married now, and I'm married to a US national, to a US citizen, and now I want to go to US. So once I'm married to a US citizen, doesn't mean that I am also a US national. I will have to follow certain procedure. And even after following that certain procedure, things are not quick. There are wait times. I might have to wait for 4 years, for 5 years, for 6 years, or even for 12 years. So the wait times are much longer. And this is happening because of the geopolitical situation that is going on, because of the war that recently was happening between USA, Iran, Israel, and everything. So things, the wait times have been prolonged, and the immigration system is not exactly how it was 5 years back. 5 years back, it was very easy. You fill out one form and you give it, you submit it, you get your visa, and everything was very way too easy at that time. But now everything has become difficult, everything has become very complicated. So what to do in such situations, we'll be taking up those things also. Yeah, the first thing, I mean, at the very beginning of the session only, I think I covered this part, the refusal and the denial defense. Whenever that's what I told you all, that uh, whenever you apply for any visa or for any citizenship or for any PR applications, whatever the truth is, always stick to that. Even if it's going to, even if you feel that this might reject your application, it might reject your application at that stage, but it's definitely not going to keep rejecting your future applications. I have seen cases where people come up with four rejections. They got and I had one client who wanted to. Sorry, Sheetal, could you be more clear what you want? Okay, anyways, we continue. I had one client who wanted to go to USA to do his post graduation in engineering. He applied once, he got rejected. He applied twice, he got rejected. He applied thrice, he got rejected. So these three rejections he had it on his own. He did the forms and everything on his own, and he was rejected thrice. The fourth time he came, and then there were certain things that he was not showing, and there were certain things that he just left out in the form. He felt that it's not important, it's not necessary for him to fill out those details, and he was just leaving it. Officer is never going to So the officer is never going to tell you why your form is rejected. It will just say that your form is rejected. Under what grounds, under what section also they might mention. But why did they refuse? Why reject? They are never going to tell you that. So to understand all of that, so we this course is going to be beneficial for that as well. And corporate and FRRO compliance, we'll be taking up that also, that how to go about with the record keeping responsibilities, what conditions to follow, and what is restricted, what not to violate, and what are the protected areas, access, and everything. Then we have enforcement protection, understanding severe consequences of overstay. This is my recent case that I'm dealing with. I have a client who the entire family, they are citizens of US. The girl came here in 2016. Her passport got expired. No, she came long back. She's in India since quite a long time. She's a PIO holder. Her passport got expired in 2016. From 2016 till 2026, she did not renew her passport. She came to us now because there would be some inquiries that she encountered some inquiries and everything. The first thing was she got her passport renewed. Because her passport was expired, OCI and PIOs are overlapped. Because OCI and PIO will only be active if you have your passport valid. If you have a valid passport and a passport that is not expired, her passport, because her passport was expired, her PIO got lapsed. And now, after 10 years, she got her passport renewed. And now she'll start with an OCI applications because PIOs are no longer exist. The PIOs no longer exist now. PIOs are converted to OCI. So we are now starting with her OCI application. But before we could start with her OCI application, she had to pay 3 lakh rupees fine. That's not a small amount, definitely. 3 lakh rupees fine she had to pay because of overstay. And if she would have still continued to do this, there would be imprisonment charges on her. But now, as she's safe, she got an X1 visa, and now we are starting with her OCI application. So she's out of danger. But still, she cannot work here in India till her OCI is approved. So there are certain things we need to keep in mind that if we do this, we'll have to face this consequences. So we'll be taking all of that as well. And then, okay, transforming legal knowledge into a scalable, ethical immigration business. I told you all we'll take up client intake and evaluation, how to deal with clients. Not all the client are very calm that, okay, you do how you want. There are clients who will teach you how to take up their case. So how to deal with those clients, then how to take up cases, what strategies you need to use and how to use. Then documentation, what documentation you need for when and how to prepare the files and the folders, and fee structures and ethics, professional ethics and everything. That is going to be there. You all will get live drafting sessions. We'll be taking up that. I told you all we'll take up those things in the later classes. We'll take up some practical uh, in maybe one of the class we can take up drafting of certain petitions or something. Yes, Sanjay, you've raised your hand. I think you have a query. Okay, okay, that's by mistake maybe. And yeah, so in the later in the next weeks, maybe we can take up how to make a cover letter for your tourist visa, or how to fill up one of the forms for your student visa, or how to prepare a petition, or how to approach maybe FRRO or USCIS. So we'll take up that in the next weeks. Then then it's specialized training unlocks. Okay, so how can you you can go step by step and what you can do. So immigration lawyer and consultant, then you can, for them it's like they can handle direct client visa applications with confidence, with much confidence. I'm sure everyone have that confidence at this time also, but maybe after this course there would be certain things or a lot of things that you did not know earlier, so that will boost your confidence more. And then for international education and mobility consultant, you can uh, guide the complex student transitions and post study work pathways, maybe which was getting difficult for you earlier might become easier for you now, or maybe the rejections you might face will become into acceptance after this course, I hope. And then for corporate immigration advisors and compliance officers, so cross border, we learn about the cross border relations, what relation we have at present with other countries, and what are the political situations that's going on. And for independent founders, you can launch your own independent firm, or you can start with your own independent practice. And maybe you can, what you're already doing will help you more after this course. So, and what all you are going to get from court practice is it's going to be a live interactive sessions. Of course, I asked at the beginning only, if you all have any queries we can solve at the end of the session, or if you all have it in between, you all want me to clear certain things, certain doubts, you all can unmute or raise your hands or whatever. So it's going to be interactive, and I'll be glad that you all keep it interactive. So it's not just one way, it's both the ways. I am also learning, I am teaching you all. There would be certain things which you all might tell me, which I might not know. I might tell you all, which you all might not know. So it's going to be a two-way path. You all will get recorded lectures, study notes, and whatever drafts and formats we'll be doing, you all will get that. Of course, a support group, and a certification, which is very much needed in all these courses these days. Certificate is a must. So you can tell everyone that yeah, you have completed this course. Also, if there are people in your family who are planning to go abroad for their studies or to settle or to work, or they just want to shift from here. So this course is going to be beneficial for those as well, be it your family members or your friends, your close ones, or someone you know who can benefit from this course. You can ask them as well to get themselves registered and join. It's still not late. This was just the first session and it was an introductory session. From the next session, we'll start with uh, basic concepts and everything. So you can still ask people to join. And of course, hope this will benefit all of y'all who have joined here and others also who might join later. So we complete this. I complete my part over here. Is there anything, any questions y'all want to ask, any doubts? So I'll be glad to clear that.
हेलो।
Yes, ma'am.
हाँ, मुझे ये पूछना था कि जो इमिग्रेशन लॉ का जो कोर्स है, तो इसकी जो अपॉर्चुनिटीज है इन फ्यूचर, तो मतलब ये जो आपने सिनारियो बताया उसमें एक्टिव पार्टिसिपेशन एडवोकेट्स का होता है क्या, या फिर एज अ कंसल्टेशन पर्पज ये हमारे लिए ये कोर्स बेनिफिशियरी है?
Active participation, you mean court practice और वो सब कोर्ट में क्या
हाँ,
practice?
यस।
So see ma'am, अभी अगर आप कोई दूसरे कंट्री, इफ यू आर फोकसिंग ओनली ऑन इंडिया, तो आपको तब काम में आएगा जब आपका कोई क्लाइंट है जो बाहर से कुछ किया, या इंडियन
हाँ,
को बाहर जाना और यहाँ पे कुछ हुआ है, तो एट दैट
हाँ।
इट्स गोइंग टू बी बेनिफिशियल फॉर यू।
सो
इस कोई और कंट्री में करना है तो हम वो भी देख सकते हैं कि आप वहाँ का कौन सा एग्जाम दे सकते हो एंड वहाँ पे प्रैक्टिस करने लग सकते हो। लाइक if I'll tell you all, I am mostly going to give my California bar exam. Once I clear that, I can start my practice in California courts. तो वहां पे वो जो कंट्री में आपको प्रैक्टिस करना है वहां का एग्जाम देना पड़ेगा। इंडिया में करना है तो आपके पास जब क्लाइंट है जो इंडिया में कुछ किए हैं और फिर अब्रॉड जाना है या अब्रॉड से कुछ करके आए हैं इंडिया में, तो एट दैट टाइम इट्स गोइंग टू बी active practice for you.
जैसे आपने नरेशन दिया कि रिगार्डिंग वीजा ये वो रिजेक्ट होते हैं, तो ये सब चीजों में एडवोकेट्स का कुछ वो रहता है क्या प्रेजेंस और ड्यूरिंग ऑल दिस प्रोसीजर, ये जो वीजा का है ये, या फिर सिर्फ वो कंसल्टेशन तक ही सीमित रहता है?
एडवोकेट का तब रहेगा मैम जब उनको कुछ पेटिशन या कवर लेटर ड्राफ्ट करके देना है। अब अगर अब एक नॉर्मल इंसान का किसी का वीजा है और
हाँ,
कोई और नॉर्मल इंसान के पास कवर लेटर तैयार करवाएगा, तो उसका लेटर तैयार करना और आपका लेटर तैयार करने में बहुत फर्क
या
रहेगा।
ट्रू।
तो उसके होगा कि
आपका वॉइस ब्रेक हो रहा है, आपका वॉइस ब्रेक हो रहा है।
सॉरी, अभी क्लियर है?
I'm
हाँ,
just try to explain all this part in English, so many of the students are from South
श्योर,
India.
नो प्रॉब्लम।
So it was the part.
Okay. So this will be beneficial for advocates because if a normal person has their visa rejected and if they want to apply again, so when they reapply that again, and if they ask other person who is not aware or who is not an advocate, who is just a normal layman, to prepare for them, so a layman letter and an advocate's cover letter holds a lot of difference, right? If an
ये
advocate is preparing a cover letter, it will have the sections involved, it will have penalty for consequences, future consequences, and everything. A layman is just going to prepare a normal cover letter and give it to the person. So that
ओके।
way benefit for the advocate.
Okay. So, do we have any legal remedies as an advocate? If somebody's visa get rejected, so as an advocate, as an Indian advocate, I can complaint कुछ फाइल कर सकते हैं या अगेंस्ट देम पिटीशन, ऐसे कुछ इमिग्रेशन लॉ में रेमेडीज आने वाली है इन फ्यूचर, मतलब ड्यूरिंग दिस कोर्स?
See, for now we have writs. I hope if practicing advocates have,
राइट, या आई नो।
so the option now present
Your
is
your voice is breaking.
am I audible?
Actually, the actually thing is that Pranali, whenever you are going to ask the question, now just unmute after that. So that is there will be a cracking sound.
Yeah, sure.
After completion the question, just unmute yourself.
Yeah, okay.
Mute
But
yourself.
I don't think so that makes any difference because that distortion from their side. But still, I'll do that.
Okay, am I clear now?
Yes, yes, you are.
Okay, so what you asked me, at present, the remedies that we have is the writs. If advocates are present, advocates might know what writs are. So at present, the remedy present is we have the option to file writs, and then we can get your matter cleared.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay. Got it. Thank you.
Welcome. Any other questions or doubts? I hope everything was cleared in today's session. If y'all can give a thumbs up, I'll be glad. Thank you. Thank you, Prabha. Thank you. Okay, so there are no more questions. Thank you so much. Thank
I
you.
have a
Thank you.
question, ma'am.
Yes, 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 please.
Question to you is regarding the student visa.
Okay.
Um, I have this question because my son is trying to go abroad. Some of
Okay.
the consultants are talking about the GIC account. Okay. So,
Mm-hmm.
as an immigration advocate or immigration lawyer, whatever, will how to do the GIC account, how to create GIC account, would you teach us?
This wasn't, I think it's not in the syllabus, but we'll see if I can take up this thing.
Because you are talking about the SOPs and letters to the universities and all student
Right,
visa. So
right.
now GIC account is must for any country, if I'm not wrong.
It's not come up
Correct.
for all the countries because this thing is not come up for USA still. It is
Mm-hmm.
for Canada. He's trying for Canada.
Yes, Canada and Germany, both countries are having GIC account.
Right, right, right. So this is not come for all the countries as a compulsion till now, but this
Okay,
can come up as a compulsion later on. For now, if
okay,
he's trying for Canada, I have not added this in the syllabus, but if time permits or if we complete either of any of the sessions quick, so I can just give a brief of how you can do it and then we can proceed further with it.
okay. Because without GIC account, no student is allowed to travel or even
Right,
attend the interview at
right,
the embassy.
right. But this is only come up for Canada and Germany for now. It's not come up for other countries till now.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that is one thing I would like you to consider in this session
Okay,
or in
definitely.
this program.
Yeah, I've noted down. It's not. I do not promise for it, but yeah, sure, we can try for it.
One more thing, ma'am. There
Yeah.
are many cases of which I have seen. People's PRs have been, expired and they could not travel to other countries like Canada, Germany, or USA.
Hmm.
Then, is there any course or is there any system wherein the PRs can be revoked?
So that's again a lengthy procedure. There are ways you can go about and get your PRs revoked, or you can, if it's been a longer time, then you need to follow the entire thing again. So it depends case to case and depends country to country. If you just
So,
yeah, without
that
facts,
is
I
also
cannot.
included in this.
uh, Revocation, a certain part of revocation will be included, but for again, as I mentioned, every country laws are different. There will be
Mhm.
certain things that is, in line to other country, but maximum of the laws for all the countries is different. So it depends from which country to which country you want to travel, and sort of that.
No, no. I'm not talking about traveling to other countries. What I'm saying is, for example, either Germany or Canada,
Mm-hmm.
somebody had PR
Okay.
and they could not go back after visiting Canada. They came to India and could not go back for some family reason, some health reason. So
Okay.
that PR 5 years period is expired, right?
Right.
Five to
Okay.
six years, whatever they have.
Yeah.
After that, they want to go again.
Yeah, so there are procedures. There is a
Huh.
pathway that you need to follow, and then you can get your PR. So again, this requires
Oh,
cover letters. This requires petition to that particular authority. So we'll be
mhm.
taking. That's what I'm clearing. We'll be taking some part of it, but not exactly going in PR applications.
Okay.
How to? Yeah.
Ma'am, I would really appreciate if you include how to open a GIC account and all, because anybody wants to open a consultancy for student visas, GIC
They
is a
need
must for
GI.
2 countries
Correct, correct.
as of now.
Okay, ma'am. I've noted this. I'll speak with the coordinators and we'll get this sorted.
Please, ma'am. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Is there anything else from anyone else, or we can end today's session?
Yes, good evening. I have a question.
Yes, yes.
It was stated, you indicated that the reason for refusal would not be mentioned. So, I just wanted to know if, like, so like I am basically an immigration lawyer. I handle for UK and Canada. So,
Okay.
most of the client whoever come up with those refusal letters, it is clearly indicated that the reason for the refusal. So maybe some might be because of improper documentation, or some might be, as you stated earlier, due to cases or something like that. But well, could you please clarify why did you indicate that the refusal reason for the refusal would not be mentioned? Is it applicable for I am aware that it is mentioned for UK and Canada. Are you stating for the other countries, or
Yes.
like, could you clarify why was it mentioned?
See, it is nowhere mentioned for USA whenever you get a US rejection, because I am practicing for US and Canada and inbound immigration. So when you get a refusal or a rejection from USA, it will just be mentioned that your case, we have rejected your application under 214B. But on what grounds and what reasons, they never mention that. And for Canada also, if you see, they just give a gist of the rejection, and then if you want the entire explanation, or you want a little more in depth, so we have to apply for the GCMS notes and everything. So it's not for all the countries that they do not mention, but most of the countries, certain countries, they don't mention it. Even when you get a rejection from for an Indian visa, if you're applying from abroad, and when you're getting a rejection, Indian government will also not mention it clearly that why did they reject your application.
So, ma'am, regarding the same question, so as
Yeah.
an immigration consultant, once you log into the website of the US embassy or whatever, can we come to know the reason for the rejection?
No, that's not how you come to know about the rejection. It's US will not tell you the reason for rejection either on the website also, or directly. They are never going to do that. You need to
Okay.
assume with what you answered in the
Whatever
interview.
documents you submitted and all, and the questions in
Yes,
the interview.
yes, yes.
Yeah, thank you for your answer. So, which means, like, usually in UK we have a judicial review. If in case we are not satisfied with the refusal, we can approach for a judicial review for UK. So, would you say that for USA, since the reason is not mentioned, so there is no protocol to follow this judicial review in the cases of US? Is my understanding right?
Right.
All right, thank you.
Uh, is that all for today's session, or do we have any more questions coming up?
Ma'am, can I ask something?
Sorry.
Can I ask something, ma'am?
Yes, please.
Yeah, good evening, ma'am. I'm
Good
Advocate Dipali here. I want to ask you, ma'am, you just mentioned that reason is not disclosed. So, how they come to know what is the actual reason behind that for rejection?
Exactly. That's what I just cleared. If you are going for an interview, they ask certain questions to you. So it depends. You have to assume on what question you answered as incorrect, or what documents you couldn't show them, or maybe the form that you have filled has certain details, have certain things which are incomplete in that form. So that's how you assume for USA, because there's nothing, just how I think Fatima just mentioned that there's judicial review for UK. There's no sort of thing for USA till now. Hopefully, we come up with something in the future.
And adding,
but how sorry, but how they will means how they will solve that issue, means if he come to know that what is the actual problem, then only he can solve it, no?
For
That I'm
non-immigrants, it's no, for non-immigrants, we do not have a system like that. For immigrant, uh, they have the for during when you go for immigrant visas, at that time they might tell you a reason that why did they reject it. But for non-immigrant, there is nothing sort of judicial review or anything. So for that, you need to assume on whatever you answered.
okay. Thank you, ma'am.
Hello, ma'am.
Yes.
Ma'am, regarding this point only, I just wanted to know if we are a consultant, right? And we prepare the student, and when the
Okay.
student goes and they will ask a question. So when they come back and their application is rejected,
Hmm.
so they might also not know, for pressure they might be, and when we prepare them to go for the interview, and they will come up and they might not know in what question they could not answer properly, and then their visa got rejected. Then in that time, how and consultant, when they come back again, we have to get them prepared. So in what way we can prepare them for the next when they go for a interview?
Okay, see, madam, suppose if a student, suppose I am only going for my student visa, okay, for my interview. I
Huh.
went and I was asked, which university am I interested in doing it? And I say XYZ university.
Huh.
But for student visa or during your interview, for any other visas also, USA officers want that if I'm going for an interview, I just don't have to say XYZ university I'm going to study. I'm going
Hmm.
to the XYZ university because it's the topmost university in USA, and because I have done a lot of research and then I feel that I'm apt to go for this university. So
Yeah.
they want a complete answer for it. So when a student is coming to you, you can ask them what questions they were asked, what dot to dot, what point to point did they answer, and then you can you
Yeah.
can think of what things they have lacked during their interview,
Okay.
and then you can prepare them for it.
Okay. And that means we had to be well prepared for it.
Right.
What type of okay? Okay. Got
Right.
it.
So that's what I
Yeah.
told. In the next sessions, we can take
Yeah.
up one session where we can take up some interview questions for USA interview, maybe for tourism purpose or you work visas or for student visa. So that will help us, hopefully.
Okay, ma'am. Thanks. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, so great. I enjoyed answering the questions. Are there any more, or we can just end? Okay, thank you for the thumbs up, for the hearts, and everything. If there are no more questions, we can just, we all can just start leaving the room. So I understand we are done.
Okay. Okay. Okay, ma'am. Thanks. Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thanks.